If a tree fell in the forest and nobody's there to podcast about it, did the tree really fall? Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another video. Now, in this video, I am going to be talking about how to choose a microphone for podcasting. Now, there's a lot of factors that go into this. I will go over a few and I'll try and explain them as I go. But this is all going to be a preference thing. Now, again, I know you can choose the built-in microphone on your phone or the built-in microphone on your computer, but I kind of want to go over some of the best microphones for your money so you can produce the best podcast without spending a ton of money. Okay, so with that, let's get into it. So, number one, you're going to want to know where you are going to be recording, whether that be in your living room or if you have some sort of sound dampening room like a studio or something, if you're going to be recording in a big, large, empty room or a small, furnished, dampened room. Now, it's kind of important to try and choose the least noisy, smallest room that you possibly can. Because the bigger the room, the more the audio is going to bounce around those walls, those emptier spaces, and the more echo you're going to get in the microphone. So a good tip that you can do is record in your closet, which I know that kind of sounds silly, but if you do that, the clothes in there and the space is going to be super, super sound dampening. So you're going to get almost no echo and it's going to sound really, really good in the actual recording. If you're in a large room, you're going to want a more dynamic microphone, and which I will go over in a little bit. And if you're in a smaller room, you might want a condenser mic. Again, this is all preference. So the next thing you want to keep in mind is whether or not you need a USB microphone or an XLR microphone. Now, this just means what kind of cable that comes with your microphone. So a USB just plugs into the USB on your computer or laptop. And the XLR is those circle cables, those circle ends that have like the 3 prongs, and that connects to an audio interface. And what an audio interface does is it kind of gives you a little bit more control of the input, so you can kind of control the input volume and other stuff like that. And it also has a better sound card in it. So the sound card in your computer will work fine, but it's just not as high of a quality as the one that's in the audio interface, because the one that's in your computer was only really meant to record the microphone that's built into your laptop. So if you buy a nicer microphone with a USB input, then it's going to sound okay, but it's not going to sound as good as somebody with an audio interface, because the audio interface lets you capture more frequencies and it kind of gives you more detail in your voice. So if you're looking for a quick and easy solution with no extra purchases, then you can just get a USB microphone. Or if you're looking for higher quality with an extra purchase in the middle, then you can get an XLR. I have an audio interface and I've really enjoyed it. I think it's totally worth it, but that's completely up to you and how much you want to spend on your podcast setup. So the next thing you want to keep in mind is if you need a dynamic mic or a condenser mic. Now, these are kind of the two main microphones used for podcasting. And the difference between those is a condenser mic kind of captures the entire room. It kind of captures everything around it. So if you have that large room with a lot of echo, it's going to kind of capture all of that echo and all of that bad stuff as well as all of the good stuff. So condensers are a little warmer and a little bit more detailed, but at the cost of capturing all the bad stuff as well. So if you don't have a more controlled environment, then a condenser is going to not be what you want. Now, a dynamic microphone, what that means is it kind of captures what is in front of the microphone itself rather than what is around the entire room. It's capturing just this cone in front of you. So it's kind of It helps with cutting down on that room noise and that echo, which if you are in a large room, it's still going to be echoey. I'm not saying that, but it's going to cut down a little bit on that. So it's going to capture a lot of your voice, but it's going to cut down on a lot of the bad stuff. So if you have a little bit less controlled of an environment, then the dynamic microphone is what you want. So let's go over a few microphones that are relatively cheap. I'll try and keep it under $100 for nicer microphones, which will give you the best quality audio. So number one, this microphone is an Technica ATR 2020. I got this a few years ago, and it's been really, really great. I am in my basement here, and we've kind of built this semi-sound studio where we have a few sound panels and soundproofing stuff, which helps a lot. Now, another microphone that you can get is the Technica ATR 2100. That's a great microphone, especially for beginners. It's a USB connector, and it also has a headphone jack right on the microphone, so you can monitor your voice in real time. So sometimes if you have your headphones plugged into your computer, then there'll be just a slight delay, and you kind of have that little echo effect on your voice, which will make it a little bit harder, and it will just take a little bit longer to get used to. But with the headphone jack directly on the microphone, it's a lot easier to monitor your voice. Speaking of which, you're always going to want to monitor your voice during recording, because if you don't, you're never going to know if there's some sort of technical issue that's happened or some sort of noise that you can't hear with your naked ear, but you can hear through the microphone. I've had issues where my microphone has skipped a beat and it kind of just cut some audio out, but I could hear it right away with my microphone, so all we had to do was retake that little bit and everything was fine. So always monitor your voice when you're recording. Now, another great mic for beginners is the Rode NT USB. This mic's great for beginners because it's a USB output. It has input and output volumes directly right on the mic. It comes with that signature Rode pop filter, which is pretty cool looking. And it's just a great mic to just set up and go. You already have everything you need. So I hope this has helped to give you an idea of what microphone you're going to need when you're podcasting, all of the different factors that go into it. And I've given you a few examples. I'll leave some more in the description. And thank you guys for watching this video. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching. Bye.